I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. We have had a day of rain, and on either side of that, a day of drizzle. So we've had 2 to 3 days where the bees have not really been able to fly much. They've been cooped up, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens now regarding the honey flow, because right now we are starting to get goldenrod coming out. Various species of goldenrod just starting to bloom. Normally the first goldenrod species to bloom will produce pollen but next to no nectar. It will be very interesting to see what happens this year. Unlike my friends in the Midwest and plains in Canada, we've had lots of rain this last month. July, we've probably been setting records for lots of rain in this area. So it's been an unusually wet July here in Maine, and I will be very interested to see what it does to the honey flow, and for that matter the dearth. The dearth should normally be starting now. The dearth really started happening here about 2 weeks ago. It was just slowing down nectar production all over the place, but things like goldenrod are early. And with this amount of rain, it would be really interesting to see if this early goldenrod starts to produce nectar this year, as opposed to us having to wait till mid-August for the later species of goldenrod to produce nectar. Who knows? Too much rain might be bad for nectar production this year. Who knows? I'm just looking forward to see this. The thing about beekeeping, the weather conditions change all the time, and therefore what happens with the honey flows, you can never 100% predict what's going to go on. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take some yards and set them up for wax production, or in other words getting comb drawn. As you know, I produce a lot of nukes here, and one of my top priorities is to have a lot of drawn deep comb ready for the honey, ready for nuke production next year. So I'm taking a lot of hives in this yard and making sure they go into the fall as double deeps. And right now, say for instance, those 3 hives in the middle with that are 2 supers high and a brown box on the top, all 3 of those brown supers just went on this week. They are just foundation right now, so my aim is to get those drawn by the time the honey flow starts. Right now, in a dearth, the bees would not draw comb there. So I'm going to start feeding hives like that to make sure we get lots of drawn comb and brood production in time for what would normally be the fall honey flow. So that's what we're going to do today, set up hives to do that. A little bit of smoke in the entrances here, if you would please. Full of bees. A little tough on the top here, probably a good idea. Let's see where we are. Foundation which won't get built without a bit of help. There's no. I mean, if we get a honey flow, all this foundation would get built anyway, but we might need to help them out. Got brood. Nice frame of brood there. Brood. Brood. Lots of brood. Nice solid brood pattern. So this hive is building up to a very strong population. More foundation that's going to need to be drawn. More brood. But it's dry. Dry. I see no food in here. We've got brood, but no honey. A little bit of nectar on the sides here. got eggs, but things are really sparse food-wise. So we're feeding these gills just in time. So what we're going to do, just for the moment, put that frame of foundation just over, lean it over there for the moment. Take these out. See if we can't move some of the brood downstairs and get any foundation that's down here upstairs. Yeah, so there's still some unbuilt comb. So we've still got some foundation here, which it's time to move that upstairs, because the bees built upstairs before they built downstairs. So they will tend to chimney up the hive if allowed to do so, and just the way this hive was set up, that's exactly what they did. So we're going to move the undrawn comb upstairs, and all the brood we're going to push downstairs. And this is a hive that is very much going to benefit from what we were talking about. Move this comb building upstairs, get all the brood down. Make sure all this brood is put together down below. There'll certainly be enough bees to do this work. As these young bees emerge, they'll be ready to build wax soon. I will have 8 frames of brood downstairs. Lots of foundation to be built upstairs. And what we're going to put on here is an inner cover and a feeder. Okay, if you put that on there, I'm going to grab an inner cover and get a feeder going as well. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to put the cover on the other way. Now, just put the bucket up there. I want to make sure the camera's in the right place. You just hold it. This is a 2-gallon bucket feeder. Normally I'll be using 1-gallon bucket feeders. We're going to see how this goes. Make sure this is relatively smooth. With all this wax and droplets on the telescopic cover, in the inner cover, it's pretty waterproof, so I'm not too worried about damaging the wood this way or anything. Okay, just going to get some robbing going on. Okay, let's see. hive is full of honey upstairs so far. Maybe I'll take some honey out just to get comb built. Okay. In fact, that's what we'll do. Just take that super and we'll just put it to one side, and we're going to just swap frames of honey with foundation. Not too much. Brood here. Foundation and brood. I took 2 honeys out of there so far. So there's still a lot of comb that needs building here. Might be a little more advanced than I was thinking, so let me just look downstairs, see if we can't take a frame of honey out of downstairs. See if we have any. Okay, that's pretty much honey and foundation, that can go out. Honey soup, that super buff is rotting. It's last year for sure. Okay, this can go upstairs. Take some of the brood. We'll set up a feeder. We need an inner cover for this one and a feeder as well. Okay, that's a sure sign that the bees have been under dearth for a few days. We had a super with some honey just in the grass here for a little while. Within minutes it was covered with bees. We took it away. Now look what's happening to this hive. They are trying to rub it like crazy. These are robbers going on the hive. So we're going to have to block up entrances like bad fitting supers or damaged supers. And of course the sugar syrup we spilt is all mopped up. That hasn't helped. Hopefully there'll be a honey flow which will ease this pressure very shortly. We'll get some tape on this to cover up the holes. In the meantime, we have to be extra careful about losing some honey, dripping any syrup around the place. I've reduced the entrance here so the bees are better positioned to defend themselves here, and the colony next to it likewise. But this is what robbing looks like. Okay, these 3 colonies have each been reduced down to 1 deep brood chamber full of brood and bees and a super of foundation. So we're just going to help them build some foundation now. So we'll get them set up with feeders. So they're all just new foundation here, and we're gonna see how fast we can get them to build up. good. No, because camera. Okay, and we just need a bit more so last time. So, a couple of gallons of sugar syrup in there. They should build out their combs pretty well. And hopefully, if they use that up in a week, then maybe we'll have a honey flow sooner rather than later. We're due another couple of possible thunderstorms this afternoon. Hopefully won't be, we'll have more flying weather than rain, but we're due rain on and off all week. It also means flying weather for part of the day as well. With luck, we'll start to see bees on the goldenrod. We've seen them on the clover continuously. With the goldenrod now, we're getting various native bees on there, which is the normal. So far, not seeing much of the line of honeybees on there. But as I say, that's normal. We normally don't see it for a while, but you live in hope, an eternal optimist as a beekeeper. I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. See you next time.